Alright, what's going on, guys? Trey back again here to bring you another video. So it's finally time. Today is June 22nd, 2012. I'm going to be doing this video, doing a video review of Fedor Emelianenko versus Pedro Rizzo. And I wasn't able to watch this fight, when it was live because I was working. It was at a weird time. It was in Russia. It was at midnight in Russia, which actually here in North America, it was actually noon, 12 hours difference. Yeah, it started at noon and the fight went on. I think at about 3 something the fight was, was on and ended. So I didn't get a chance to catch it live, but I have seen it. You can watch the fight. It's real quick. It's only like 1 minute and 24 seconds or something like that, with the introductions and everything. Most of the videos you'll find online. You can just quickly search it on Google. You'll find a video of the fight is only like probably 5 minutes, 6 minutes long, and we've just got confirmation pretty much that it looks like now Fedor has officially announced his retirement. He's basically said that the reason for it is it's time to move on. His daughters are growing up, says, without him, and time to spend more time with his family and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he's made so much money from MMA. He's probably worth somewhere around 20 million, maybe more, maybe 30 million US dollars at this point. I'm assuming somewhere around there, maybe even more. So, I mean, obviously that's enough money to live off of. This was a guy that grew up basically in poverty and had next to nothing. And, at this point in his career, obviously doesn't need money anymore. Has been, a champion for so long, so many years, went undefeated, almost 10 years on that streak, and calling it quits now. Watching this fight, watching the introductions and everything, the introductions, were just great. When the announcer was saying that, Fedor, widely regarded as the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, the infamous, so to speak. And, it was just a picture-perfect final fight for Fedor. Because, like a lot of people, he was thinking about retiring back when he fought Bigfoot Silva. And lost that afterwards. Kind of hinted that he was thinking about retirement, but we didn't want to see Fedor grow up that way. That's Fedor being one of the greatest of all time. Arguable. I think he's probably the greatest of all time. Him and Anderson Silva. A lot of people argue back and forth about those two, but I think the next year or two of Anderson Silva will really determine that. If Anderson Silva loses his next fight, that kind of stuff. I mean, Fedor was undefeated for so long. He did it at heavyweight. He did it in the early days back when mixed martial arts wasn't well established yet. It was just getting on its feet, so to speak. It hadn't even been around that long. And, it inarguably is one of the best of all time. But, whether or not he is the best, you can argue that back and forth whatever you want. I mean, that's an opinion thing. But definitely one of the greatest of all time. Probably, I would say, the best of all time. And, this was just a picture-perfect fight for him. Yes, Pedro Rizzo hasn't fought in a while. Yes, he's, probably, I'm sure he got a good payday, which is why he took the fight, but, he's not the best opponent for somebody like Fedor to face, but, when Fedor goes out, you kind of want to see him, that's a picture-perfect ending. You want to see him go out in that fashion. I mean, like 1.5 minutes, he comes in, throws a few leg kicks, as they're walking around, kind of stalemated there, and then fakes a leg kick, throws a right instead, catches him, goes down, boom, and like lightning, hit him, probably like 5 to 10 times in less than 2 seconds, and that was it. It was totally done. So, obviously Fedor, one of the greatest of all time. Picture perfect moment for him to go out like that. Everybody's cheering and just, man, that was awesome. So definitely, I think we're all going to miss Fedor. We're all going to miss having him in the sport. He's definitely an enigma. He never went to the UFC. He was doing his own thing all the way through. He never catered or caved to the UFC, and stuck his ground. And I think will be regarded as probably the best mixed martial artist, unless one of the guys in the UFC like Junior Dos Santos or John Jones or Anderson Silva can continue to go on and win for another several years. If John Jones can win for another 5-10 years, and then maybe he'll take Fedor's spot. If Anderson can win for another year or two, then in most people's minds he'll probably take Fedor's spot. But in terms of the first generation of mixed martial arts, there's nobody as good as Fedor, at least in terms of career-wise. Nobody can really hold a candle to Fedor. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think he should be retiring at this point? Do you think it's the right decision? And did you like the fight? I love the fight. I thought it was awesome. really touching to see it. It was like a movie. That's so good. They should make a movie of Fedor. They really should. I mean, there's so many crappy movies made these days over nonsense. They need to make a movie on Fedor. I mean, that was just like movie stuff right there. Anyway, I'll leave it with that. Let me know what you guys think about it later, guys. Peace.